What's going on, YouTube world? My name is Ghiman Mckinney, or you can just call me Juice. That's my nickname. Brett, bringing y'all the Juice Alert today on my YouTube channel. Be sure to hit that like button right now if you are rocking me. Smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you are new as well. This is the place to be in summer of 2019. I'm going to be covering NFL, college football, a little bit of NBA, MLB. I cover all that stuff on this channel, so be sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the post notifications too. You don't want to miss a video. Obviously, we have previewed Michigan State and Oklahoma. We are now previewing the Texas A&M football team this year for the college football season of 2019-2020. I'm going to break down Texas A&M's schedule, give you game-by-game predictions, and pretty much break down where I see some wins and losses for Texas A&M football in 2019. Before I do get to that, be sure to comment other teams you want me to do record predictions for. I'm doing about 13 or 14 more teams, I believe, so just comment some teams. Obviously, I'm going to do the bigger teams like Alabama or Clemson and Ohio State, obviously go Buckeyes. But hey, if you think I'm going to miss out on your team, be sure to comment that team. I might get to it. No promises, but I take into account all comments. Okay, getting right to things. All right, so Texas A&M obviously had a very good year, pretty solid year. The first 9-win season, and since 2013, Jimbo Fisher's doing work in Texas at Texas A&M. He's one of my favorite coaches in college football, and one of the 5 best coaches in college football, easily in my opinion. They obviously had a dominating win over NC State in a bowl game. They won that game 52-13. NC State, what an overrated program, not getting into that though. But a great win for Texas A&M to cap off the year. You did lose Travion Williams and Jay Sternberger. Hopefully Aaron Rodgers, my quarterback, my Green Bay Packers, can turn him into a household name. But hey, that's a story for another day. You did lose a few key linebackers and D-ends as well. But you were able to land the 4th best recruiting class, where you were able to snag 2 5-stars, including a 5-star D tackle and a 5-star offensive tackle as well as the #1 tight end in the 2019 class in Baylor Cup. Okay, so your recruiting class is doing really good. Texas A&M looks to be on the uprise of college football teams. Can they make that next big leap this year? Well, we'll see. If they're going to make that big leap this year, they are going to need to have excellent play from Kellen Mond this year. Jimbo Fisher did wonders with him this year. He threw 24 touchdowns and only 9 interceptions. He's one of the better quarterbacks in college football, in my opinion. I think he's going to have some success, and he's going to need to. Texas A&M is going to look to go far because their schedule is brutal. If I had to bet money, Texas A&M this year has one of the hardest schedules in all of college football. That's just the reality of the situation. I feel sorry for them. I feel sorry that teams like Alabama, Clemson, and some of these other top teams have cupcake schedules and Texas A&M doesn't. But hey, that's none of my business. Okay, you're at Clemson, you're at LSU this year, you're at Georgia. You play those 2 teams back to back at the end of the year. You play Alabama, you play Auburn. Within the SEC, the schedule's very tough. You're already going to have a tough enough schedule playing in the SEC. That's just the reality situation. But hey, let's dive right into this schedule for Texas A&M, which, if I had to bet money, is the toughest schedule in college football. Can Texas A&M conquer this schedule and make some noise in the SEC? Well, we're going to see. The first 3 games of the season, you play Texas State, you're at Clemson, and you play Lamar. I don't know who Lamar is. I don't know who Texas State is. But you're going to easily win both those games. But you will lose to Clemson. I think you go 2-1 in your first 3 games. Look, I understand you competed with Clemson last year, and I get it. You did really well. You almost won that game. The game was, I believe, 28-26. But Clemson's a better team, and you have to play them at their place this year. It was at your place last year. I think Clemson's just a better team. Trevor Lawrence is the best quarterback in college football. In my opinion, you can make the argument. He's definitely a top 3 quarterback if you don't think that. Like I said, they're just a better team. They obviously won the national title for a reason. They do lose a ton of players on that D-line. Cleveland Farrell, Dexter Lawrence, pretty much everyone got drafted. But you got recruits like Xavier Thomas, Justin Foster, and KJ Henry playing right behind them. They got 5 stars. They got 4 stars waiting to play right behind them. They're not going to miss a beat on that defensive line. They might take a little bit of a step back, but they also have Isaiah Simmons, who's a very good safety/linebacker. Clemson's just a better team. Their wide receivers are nasty too. Justin Ross, T. Higgins. Those are 2 of the 10 best wide receivers in college football. Easily, I think you dropped that game. I understand you competed with Clemson last year, but like I said, that was actually before Clemson really hit their stride. Clemson, at the beginning of the year, had some troubles, playing down the competition, but I don't think there will be an issue this year. I think they opened the playbook up for Trevor Lawrence. I think you lose that game. So after that, you play Auburn, you play Arkansas, and you play Alabama. These are all going to be home games. Okay, now Auburn, I think you're going to beat Auburn. You're going to beat Arkansas as well. Auburn's a solid team. They did beat you last year, but they barely beat you. The gap between Auburn and Texas A&M to me is not that wide at all. Derrick Brown, Auburn has Derrick Brown. He's a stud on that D-line. Auburn's going to have a very good defensive line. But I just think that Texas A&M playing at home is the better team. I think they're going to win that game. I think the fact that Auburn beat them last year in Auburn, they're going to split this year and beat them at Texas A&M in my opinion. I just think Kellen Mond's going to have a pretty good day. And also, Auburn is going to be potentially starting a freshman quarterback or a redshirt freshman quarterback. They do lose some players. I mean, you just really never know what you're getting from Auburn as far as their offense goes. They're always going to have a good defense. But offensively, I mean, Gus Malzahn, what a roller coaster ride of a head coach as far as offense goes. I mean, I don't think he's a very good offensive play caller at all. And you're going to be starting a freshman quarterback. Now, I think that'll be Auburn's first true road game. I understand they played Oregon in Arlington earlier in the year, but I just think that Texas A&M is the better team. They'll win that game. Arkansas is an easy win. Now you play Alabama. Ooh. I really, and I mean really, think Texas A&M has a shot to win this game. I really do. I think Jimbo Fisher's a good head coach. I really do. He can match up with Nick Saban. Can they beat Alabama? They get them at home. I can't see it. This year, I just think that you're playing Alabama at the wrong time, in my opinion, okay? This is a year where Alabama is ticked off. A ticked off Alabama team is one of the scariest things in the world, okay? They're ticked off they lost that national title to Clemson. They're probably most likely going to run through almost all their regular season games. I mean, Nick Saban's going to have them training hard this offseason. And they're the better team. They're ultimately the better team. You couldn't beat Clemson last year. It does help that you get them at home, in my opinion. But listen, Jerry Jeudy's the best wide receiver in college football. Now, Tua Tagovailoa does have some issues in these big games, whether it be the Georgia game, whether it be the Mississippi State game, whether it be the Clemson game, whether it be the LSU game. I mean, Tua Tagovailoa, when he faced good defenses last year, he wasn't very good. That's just the reality of the situation. He was not very good. So there's potential you can upset them here, but I just think Alabama's the better team. They'll beat you. You get them at home, it won't matter, in my opinion. They're the better team. At Ole Miss, they were a 5-win team last year. That is a W. And Mississippi State, you play Mississippi State at home. That's a W as well. They do lose Jeffrey Simmons. They do lose Montez Sweat. They lose Fitzgerald, their quarterback from last year. They also lose Jonathan Abraham, who's a very good safety for them. They just lose a ton of talent. You get them at home, you're going to win that game, in my opinion. Okay, so through 8 games at this point, Texas A&M is 6-2. That's pretty reasonable for my opinion. I think they're on pace to win a bowl game. UTSA, that's a W. They're not a very good team. South Carolina, you get them at home as well. That's a 7-6 football team from last year. You'll win that game. Jake Bentley's a decent quarterback, but nothing special, nothing that you haven't seen. At Georgia and at LSU to end the season. Man, oh man, are the college football scheduling gods not helping Texas A&M this year. I mean, finishing out playing on the road at Georgia and at LSU. These are 2 top 7 teams easily to me this next coming year. And unfortunately, I think Texas A&M loses both of those games. I think they lose both of those games. Georgia, they have the best offensive line in college football, in my opinion. I don't think Texas A&M, they have some good athletes. They have a decent defense, but they don't have the athletes in defense, in my opinion, to keep up with Georgia. Okay, if it was in Texas A&M, I probably would pick Texas A&M. But it's at Georgia. I just think that Georgia's the better team. Jake Fromm's a pretty good quarterback. They're wide receiver U as far as recruiting 5-star wide receivers. They're gonna have a great running game. They have the best offensive line in college football. They have a decent defense. I think that Georgia's just the better team. I mean, there's a reason they were in the SEC title game last year. Came up just short of being in the college football playoffs last year. They're a top 5 team. You're gonna lose that game. And then at LSU, listen, you beat LSU last year. It was a thrilling game. I mean, it went to 7 overtimes. I believe you beat them 74-72. But you have to go on the road this time. Joe Burrow's a decent quarterback. I think this year, because he's going to have a full offseason with this offensive playbook and system, he's going to win. He's going to do very good this year. They always recruit at a high level. LSU recruits at a significantly high level. They're going to have athletes. Grant Dilpit in that secondary. Man, oh man, LSU secondary is loaded. Grant Dilpit might be one of the best players. He might be a top 5 player in college football this year as far as draft prospects go. The guy's a stud. He's the next great safety. Unfortunately for Texas A&M this year, I think you finish 9-4. I just see it happening. I potentially can see 9-3. And I honestly have to bet money. If I had to bet money, if you're going to win one of these games, I think you're going to beat Alabama. Because look, Tua Tagovailoa just doesn't show up for big games. I think if you're gonna make an improvement from the record I just gave you, which was 8-4, you're gonna need to beat Alabama at your place. You get them at home. It's a large crowd, but I also could potentially see Texas A&M maybe not even making a bowl game. I mean, this schedule is hard. I mean, Mississippi State, I mean, Auburn, LSU, Georgia, South Carolina. I mean, it's a tough schedule. But I do think that because Texas A&M has a pretty good quarterback, I think they've recruited very well. I think Jimbo Fisher's a very good head coach. But hey, you know, 8-4 is a good football team. You're going to be ranked this year. You're going to win some big games. You're going to make a bowl game once again, and you're trending in the right direction. Just hopefully maybe next year you get a better schedule, a more favorable schedule, I should say. That's pretty much a wrap for this video, though. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Smash that like button. Turn on the post notifications, too. You don't want to miss a video. You don't want to get caught lacking these streets, guys. I will be previewing a ton more of these college football teams as well as NFL teams. Be sure to stay tuned and turn on the post notifications so you don't miss a video. Guys, appreciate you guys for tuning in today. It's been your boy, Ghiman Mckinney. God bless, and I'm out.